right. What was the insulator that was stuck inside the locker door? And I believe that was the leather glove. The tag reads SL9 incident, extremely thick rubber glove. Yeah, I'll present this. That's what I think did it. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove, but we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Meekins is so exaggerated. He's a beautiful man. Order, order, order. So are we to believe then that the victim whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman? Objection! Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. His face is so ridiculous. Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, then. Begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2. There's one other thing that proves that the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Oh, that's a good... I forgot about that for a second. That is true. At the time of the crime, the detective had used this card. Wait a second. Let me look at something. No, I want to read it. Not that. Whoops. Oh, here we go. Oh, that is true. So, we don't know who 777777777 is, but, Edgeworth went in. Edgeworth came out. Edgeworth would probably know if somebody was in there from 420. Then 450 Meekins went in to put the doll in. And then 514 Bruce Goodman went in with his ID card. I was hoping to find, like, somebody in between, but there wasn't. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card, sir. ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up in the transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination. Mr. Man, number 2, cross-examination. Okay. Okay, one thing to prove that the man was detected. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Okay, so... But Goodman didn't have his ID card, did he? Or did he lose... No, because it would have been in the other building. Because it was in the prosecutor's parking lot when we found it. So if he had it when he was murdered in the prosecutor's parking lot, how would he have had it during the murder when he was murdered in the other place? Yeah. Okay, let me see which one of these I can press on. Or, not press on, but... When there's an ID card, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective would use his ID card, but he didn't have his ID card on him. And I have it right here, and I know where I found it. Yeah, I found it at the prosecutor's office crime scene. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. Wait, was there anything else I could have... Oh, we didn't mess this up. Oh, wait! The Lost Item report! Didn't that say... Yeah, his ID! He lost his ID! Oh, I could have presented that. Maybe that's what I was supposed to present. Well, I should have looked at that earlier. Anyway, wait a moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I had the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report? It's only half complete. Okay, you presented that automatically. Thank you, Phoenix. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather a man who stole his ID card. Order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. But bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. The first, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is fake, then the murder also in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't good. Oh yeah, I see what he's getting at. Oh, Edgeworth. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment of the defendant used the murder weapon. Phoenix got scared from Edgeworth's close-up right there. As did I a little bit. I knew the testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. It was a well-laid-out trap, then. Oh, the activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Yeah, I have to object, but... Okay, what could I object about? Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna object for now. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Why was someone dressed? Why was he dressed as Goodman or somebody? I still feel like that might have been Marshall there. However, it cannot be said that the murder that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses would be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considers the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This might just be my chance. Time to call certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Exactly. Mr. Wright, what do you mean? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would like to have testify, what is his or her name? I would like to bring you to the stand. Emma. I forget her name for a second. No, Jake Marshall. Yes. And present. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let him know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. I skipped past that word too fast. I was reading too fast. Also, I may not know what that word is, but I did get a chance to read it for a second. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? Subdued, maybe? Maybe it said subdued? Probably subdued. I don't know. We will, Your Honor. Court in recess. I thought it was court is in recess. Court in recess. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant's Lobby number 3. Or number 2. They're changing up the lobbies on me too much now. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Just out of nowhere, really. Okay. Hello. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, really? He just leaves? Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And on top of it, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey, 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 hey! I didn't see you there, Miss Guy. That's okay. So, have you brought up what I asked? Oh, ho, 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 ho. You mean this right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here. You might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Receive file of the SL9 incident. Well, okay. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident is that. That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No. No, Lana. That's over with. No. Emma, wait. She ran away. Yeah, you know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal. I'm out of here. Yeah, thanks, Gumshoe. Just leave me here all by myself. Deal with two people. These two. Right. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Guns, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. Except for you, Phoenix. You're all alone, buddy. Wait, Meekins isn't involved either. You guys could be friends! This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial. Mr. Wright, best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. Files for the Dark killing solved 2 years ago. Touch the check button for details. Okay. Colonel Joe Dark. Fuck. Go back. No, whatever. Victims. Edith Kirby, Jeff Bates. Edward Jones. Wow. That's a lot of victims. Head prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Witness, Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Investigation task force. Executive investigators, Damon Gaunt and Lana Sky. Head investigator, Bruce Goodman. Investigators, Jake Marshall and Angel Star. Okay. He was sentenced to death. Well, I took a good look at it. It didn't really tell me as much as I would like it to. To be continued. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue right into the next trail, honestly. Stay clear stage data up to this point. Yes. I don't want to forget all this information I have running through my head right now. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Oh, we're in courtroom number 9 now. Thought we were in lobby number 2. I guess the lobbies in the courtrooms are different. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. And the music starts. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a wandering man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. I just want to check if there's anything else with the... Okay, that was all the SL9 incident stuff. I was hoping there's a bit more information, but I do have a couple names on it. So I can probably connect some things. Alright, let's just get this going with... yeah, okay, that's for my name. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place, is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony on the day of the crime. In English. Day of the crime, witness testimony. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security cam systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wow. You just... Oh no. The poor judge. So rude. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon that even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks inside the evidence room? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Cross-examination, day of the crime. Okay, wait. So he said he doesn't know anything about the prints. They pretty much auto-pressed on that statement for me. Okay, you said the street. I'm an instant traveling man. If you're out of ammo, it's. But you do know about it because you have your. Wait, no. Wait, what am I looking for? Yeah, there's his prints. Okay, I don't think... Do I have anything to prove that he knows about it, though? Let me look through this. Okay. Okay. You read the street side, so... But why are your fingerprints there? Yeah, you weren't at the street side saloon though, because your fingerprints were there. Or why were your fingerprints there with blood, which was found to be at the same time and tried to be wiped off also? And why was your locker open with the white thing, the coat? I think it was the coat hanging out. After, and it wasn't there before the murder took place, so you opened your locker also. Because I believe that was your locker, at least the one, I think that was the one mentioned as Marshall's locker with something sticking out. I will present this. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd, that is, you being called to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime, yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene, or, to be exact, a handprint. Huh, listen real good here, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, to make my rounds, about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene. The blood was wiped away, however. Voluminol testing clearly reveals this. Well, Officer Marshall, it seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Wait, I'm already done with the other testimony? Oh. I wanted to press a bit more on that. Oh, whatever. Bloodstained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as a bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where the fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Oh, didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. I gotta find the thing in this. Huh. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubts. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Bloodstained fingerprints. Okay. I don't know. I didn't find anything that stuck out to me too much in that one. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. I'm just gonna press. I'm gonna do the pressing thing. I'm gonna press a bit more. I need to get some more information. That's because you, how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month. Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never changed. He must have been using fingerprint lock without ever knowing it, even knowing it. Marshall's fingerprints updated, added to the court record. How likely is that, though? It was his locker, that it was on. Okay. So this is handprint. The murder touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. How is that even... How likely would that be? The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The bloodstains and the fingerprints are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Wait, how did you know the murderer wasn't wearing gloves? We haven't shared that information yet. We're the ones who did the luminol testing. There was no gloves mentioned though, other than between me and what's her face? I'm forgetting her name. Emma? Emma. Yes, Emma. So only me and Emma should know this, or the people investigating the crime, but you weren't investigating the crime, so how do you know this? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, though, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh, yeah, I think we tried that too. Huh, so that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place his hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? This seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trial isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. But there is, because there's the piece of cloth sticking out, which I noticed. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue with your testimony, Officer Marshall. But it wasn't me and that video partner, right? Actually, it is you. I'm pretty sure. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is only direct evidence you have. but the video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. And someone was familiar with the camera's position. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, he could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall is present, please do so now. I do have evidence, but I will do that after I pause this.